Hi, my name is Bailey, and welcome to the Dance Podcast. In this first episode, I will be talking about myself and my experience with dance in my community. I will also be interviewing my good friend Amaia to discuss the role of dance in her life as well. So, dance has always been a huge part of my life. I started dancing at a young age, and I've almost exclusively danced at 171. I started doing ballet when I was really little. I did do tap a little bit, but mainly I've just stuck to ballet. I've fell in love with it, always loved it, always been doing it. What's so special to me about 171 is just the sense of community, and it's just so homey there, and everyone knows each other really if you've been there long enough, and I feel like it's kind of its own little family, which I really like about it. There's such a nice, safe kind of atmosphere, and I always look forward to going there after a hard day. The reasons that I love dance, there's so many reasons why I love dance. It's great exercise for my body, but it's not only good for my body, it's good for my mind because I'm with this group of girls that I love. They're like my dance sisters, and it's such a way to de-stress, I feel like, and it's like I'm blocking out the whole world and just the only thing that matters is dance. The girls that I dance with, I've known them for so long. I've danced with them for so long. We call each other our dance sisters because that's how close we are. And it's just such a safe environment for me. And I feel like we all feel that way about each other. And it's just the kind of bond that sticks with you, and it's nice to know that you have a group of people that are always going to have your back and you can always count on to make you laugh or cheer you up or anything. Some of the more difficult things about dance is the toll that it can take on your body because you, especially if you're rehearsing for a show nonstop, you can get so tired and hurt yourself and get muscle cramps and just all kinds of stuff in every single place in your body because you're always working. It just makes you so tired, especially when you have rehearsals for a long time, many days in a row. But it's worth it for me. And it also can take a toll on your mind because it's a lot of detailed behind the scenes, especially like I said for a show. And remembering all kinds of dances, and it's all the time, and if you're tired or if you're not feeling up to it that day, it can take a toll on your mind because the classes and rehearsals are so long. And I kind of said this before, but you have so many rehearsals that are really long and classes that are really long that it takes up a lot of time, and it's really hard to have any free time to do anything else. But it's worth it for me. The only hard thing is that I'm up really late all the time on nights where I have dance. The thing about dance is that sometimes I'll be I don't want to go, and I'm just too tired for this. But then once I get there, I'll be I'm so glad I came here because it's such a release for me, and it's such a good place to end my night. So my favorite thing about dance is I can't pick just one because I have a lot of favorite things about dance. But I just really love the way it makes me feel, and it makes me feel happy and great, and I love all the people. It's like I said before, it's just its own little family, and I love it. And I also really love the performances. That's one of my favorite things too, is just performing, especially when it's a story instead of just a recital. The story ballets are my favorite things literally ever. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but right now I'm going to go through kind of what a regular ballet class would look like for me, because ballet is the dance that I do the most. It's the dance that I love. So the first thing that we do when we come in is we do bar, which is, if you don't know what a ballet bar is, you hold on to it and it allows you to do things with having the balance there, and you can do certain things with different combinations, just strengthening your technique. So the first thing we do is we just do a little stretching warm-up kind of thing where we just stretch our feet, and then we do pliés and tendus and dégagés, and then frappés and rond-de-jambes, and then we stretch on the bar or sometimes on the floor, and then grand bas, and this changes sometimes. It can be different. And for each of these categories, I guess, we do a combination that's basically different every time. but it's the same movements, I guess. Then we put the bars away and we do center, which is where we all line up in the middle of the floor and we learn combinations and do them a couple times. So normally we start off with the slower combination, like crozet, adagio kind of thing, which means we start facing the corner. And this is usually where you get your pirouetting, kind of slow combinations that are more technique based, like attitude turns and like inside pirouettes and things like that. Then we would do normally another combination, one with stepping and turning. We don't do that all the time. And then usually we do a kind of like jumpy allegro combination. This is where you do your jetés, assemblées, pas de châle, coupé, pas de bourrée, just kind of like more jumpy things. And then like I said, these all change depending on the day. But then we do the corner, and normally the first combination we do is like a slow waltzy kind of combination where we do lots of waltz turns, balancés, sometimes like a jump, or it's kind of more of like an elegant, slower waltzy combination. Then we do more of like a jumpy combination with lots of like calypsos, grand jeté, saut basque, tour jeté, things like that. And then sometimes we'll do another more complicated one afterward that's kind of like a mix, or we'll do squiggle, which is really fun. It's where you go across the floor and you're doing like leaps basically, but there's a prep to it, and it's so fun. And we'll do it like a cross where we're going two sides going at the same time, like crossing in front of each other. And then normally at the end we do reverence, which is basically like a cool down. It's like in the center of the floor, and we just kind of do different poses and stretching out and like cooling down basically. So now I want to talk about some performances that we've done. So we do a story ballet every year. The first one that I was in was Phantom of the Opera when I was in 3rd grade. It was my first ever one, and I don't have many memories of it, but I have seen some videos of it, and I just remember that I was so excited for it because it's my first ever one. And then the next year, in 4th grade, right before COVID, we did Cinderella, and it was really fun. This one I remember a little bit more. We had a couple dances, and there was this one specific dance that was the prince giving a ball, and it was really fun. And then I also have some very vivid memories of this one from dancing backstage where we were supposed to be sitting, because they have like TVs so you can see what's going on stage. And so we knew some of the dances that the older girls did, and we would do them backstage. And that's a really fun memory I have of that. So then COVID happened, so we skipped 2 years of shows, and we came back, and my class went on point that year. And so the first show we did on point was Little Mermaid, and I'm glad that we missed the 2 years that we missed, so we didn't miss like our first 2 story ballets. We missed the years in between, like 5th grade and 6th grade, where you're not on point yet, but you're old enough to know more than just one dance in the show. And we just like came back, and we were big, I guess, and it was our first show on point, like I said, and it was amazing. It was like I fell in love with dance with this show. We were the teen mermaids, which meant that basically some of the seniors were the main character mermaids, and then we were the younger versions of them, and then we had baby mermaids that were like 3rd and 4th graders that had a couple dances at the beginning, and they were us, and it was so fun. We had this one specific dance that was Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which I'm gonna remember forever. And then last year we did Oz, which was really fun. I thought it was one of the shows that I really enjoyed. And we gorged ourselves on Lay's salt and vinegar chips and mini M&Ms. We survived off those for like a whole week. Whenever we were at CMOG, we were just eating the salt and vinegar chips and M&Ms because we do the performances at CMOG. We are going to do Wonderland this year. Rehearsals have started, and the shows are February 1st and 2nd. and it's already shaping up to be really fun. I'm really excited. Now I have invited one of my good friends, Amaia, to talk with me. Amaia is a sophomore here at Corning Painted Post High School, and we've been good friends for a long time and been dancing together for many years. So, how long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was 2, so like 13 years.
Where do you dance?
I dance at 171 Cedar Arts.
What styles of dance do you do?
I do mostly ballet, but I've taken jazz classes, modern classes. I took tap once.
Oh, this is very controversial. What is your favorite point shoe brand?
Okay, right now, I think Russian points. I actually...
Since when?
They've grown on me. Because I have my Russian points that I got, and I'm actually starting to like them, and they work really well like on my feet, and I don't cramp as much as I did in my block ones, so I just think they're like magic.
Okay. So I'm asking you this because I couldn't figure out how to describe it.
Okay. Okay.
What does being on point feel like?
Well, you're putting all of your weight on your toes, but it doesn't really feel like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it hurts, I guess. I kind of gotten used to it. I'm kind of like numb at this point. At first, it like takes a while to get used to, but you get strong enough that you kind of just don't feel it. It depends on the day. Some days it feels like I'm in excruciating pain, and some days it feels fine. I like don't care.
What is your favorite thing about being on point?
It's more fun to turn. Like, it's more difficult, but it's like more fun. You know? Like,
yeah.
testing yourself and challenging yourself with different turns on point.
What is your favorite thing about dance in general?
The people. I have made so many great friends through dance, and I like jumps, leaps, and like doing stuff in the air. Like, I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Because I can get up in the air high.
Yes.
And, yeah.
How close are you with the girls that you dance with?
I'm pretty close with them. I actually tell most of them pretty much everything. I just like trauma dump too.
Yes, so what happens at the bar stays at the bar.
For real.
Ballet bar. What kind of role does dance play in your life?
It's a really big part of my life. I've been doing it since I was 2, so it's like I can't imagine my life without dance.
What are your plans for continuing dance in the future?
Well, I plan to keep on dancing at 171, maybe taking a few classes at a more competitive dance studio or like a more competitive ballet studio specifically to see if I can improve anymore, but definitely staying at 171, staying with my friends.
What is the hardest thing about dance?
I think the hardest thing about dance maybe just like it can be very, very frustrating at times. Like, there's times where I'm just like, I don't know why I do this to myself. Because it's just like, you have usually time constraints for the amount of time you can, like, you have to learn a combination. You have to learn the dance in a certain amount of time. And so we're piling choreography and trying to remember every single step and execute it perfectly. And it's like, it's just a lot of stress, and it's so frustrating when you just have days where you just can't get things done, and like you can't remember the choreography and you're not picking up quickly, and it's just kind of stressful sometimes, but overall it's great.
Why do you love dance?
I love dance because it's kind of giving me like an outlet like for my frustrations and like my stress, and I have all the people there that are like, everyone there is there for me, even if we're not like best friends. It's kind of become something that I'm kind of like attached to in a way. Like, I couldn't imagine my life without dance.
What is your favorite performance or like show that we've ever done?
I think I like the story ballet, The Little Mermaid, because I was teen Iris, which is like our Ariel, and I had like 8 dances, and it was just so fun because I got to dance with like the seniors, and it was just an amazing experience.
Favorite specific dances that we've done?
Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was one of the most, like, that I loved learning that dance, and anytime we had rehearsal for that dance, like, I would get so excited because it was so much fun. And then I think Skyfall that we did a recital dance to Skyfall for our last recital, and that was just like
Favorite memories from dance throughout the years?
I have one, but Bailey's gonna heal it. So one time, we were really little. Me and Bailey were like
7.
Bailey was like, I was like 7. Bailey was like 6-ish.
Don't judge me, okay?
We were sitting and we were stretching and we were kind of.
I have no memory of this, by the way.
I do. And Bailey and I were kind of, we were kind of in our own little group. We kind of just like stuck together. Like we didn't really talk to it. We were very shy children. And we were in our own little group and she goes, Amaia, watch this. And she licks the dance floor. Like, not even kidding. She licks it. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, that's cool. I know that's cool. I was like 7. I didn't know what to say to that. Like, it was the funniest thing. I think I like just being backstage with everyone, like, at the shows. That's just so much fun, and, like, being ready and, like, just goofing off, and it's just so fun.
Funny stories that you like to share?
Well, there's the licking the floor one. I fell on my face one time
On rehearsal during a show.
During a show. So that was funny, kind of.
It was funny.
Basically, last year at our story ballet, we did Oz, and I was one of Glinda's backup dancers. And if you've watched Wicked, you know, Dancing Through Life, it's like the ball, and everyone's like at the ball, and they're all dancing.
It's like this humongously long dance with everyone going on and off and on and off, and it's crazy.
It's like, it's insane.
Yeah.
And, like, towards the end-ish of the dance, my pointe shoes did not...
The disco part.
No, my pointe shoes did not fit me. They weren't broken in at all.
Oh.
They were so new and slippery. Like, when I tell you they were slippery, they were slippery. I was putting so much rosin on them, and they still didn't. Well, as we know, they didn't stick.
Yeah.
But they were like, I was. Oh my god. Okay, so I was on stage, and I had just done like, I think like a soutenu or something, and we're supposed to do attitude turns, and attitude turns is like, you turn on one leg, and your foot is like back behind you, kind of like bent. And it's like, okay, I don't know how to explain it. I would have to show, but I can't.
And this was like a very like jumpy, attitude turny. We're in a U, and I'm okay, so I'm on the way corner of the U, and Amaia's like towards the middle, and she's like behind me, kind of like diagonal behind me.
So, I can't. Anyway, so I go to do my attitude turn, and I didn't get over my box, and I was like on the corner, and I slipped, and my foot went out like under me like this for somehow, and I went face first onto the floor.
This is in the show, like
this is in the show, like we're performing, and this hasn't happened before. Like, I've never fallen like this before. Like, this has never happened to me before, and this is our last show too. And I fell and hit the floor, and my whole entire, like, my face, the rest of the dance after I got up was...
That was the best face. My face was in, like, this giant O, and it was so funny. And, like, so out of the corner of my eye, I see something, like, hit the ground.
Well, everyone heard it.
And I hear this thump, and I'm like, what the heck happened?
Like, I bet people were thinking, like, some prop fell or something.
It wasn't a prop.
It could have been a prop.
I didn't think it was a prop, because I saw you out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because I was doing, like, a soda bask or something.
Oh.
Because it was, like, we went into... I don't remember what the dance was, but it was, like, attitude turn, soda bask, torch day, so I don't know.
It was all over
It was all over the place. But I was, like, turned kind of diagonally, like, back towards you, and I see you, like, and then... and I hear the thump. Yeah, and then your face is the best part. And
it was like, my mouth was open the whole entire time. I was
she was in shock.
I was in shock.
She was like shocked to laughter.
And it was all over the place. It was so funny. It was so funny.
And then we went back in the dressing room, and turned out that her mom had been recording the
whole
whole
thing and sent it to me.
Zoomed in on her, and she sent it to her, and we just watched it over and over again.
We watched it in slow motion. We watched it backwards. We watched it sped up.
It, like,
yeah.
so it was
like
up and down.
Yeah. Someone edited it so it went like it bounced up and down. And then there's this last year we decided we had these like canes for one of our dances, and we decided that we would go around and like knight people. I remember that. And they had pictures of me knighting people, and I looked so bad, but it was just so fun. I burnt myself with a curling iron 30 minutes before I had to go on for a show.
Giant whale.
Giant. It was giant. It was giant. It was like red. We were all in the bathroom, which was our dressing room, getting ready, and I was next to this one girl, and she had a curling iron, and she was like taking it out as I was moving to leave the like mirror, because there were like two mirrors next to each other and two
Because
things.
you were doing my like eyes.
I was doing your eyes,
and
yeah.
My eyes were closed.
And I turned, and her curling iron, this is like 30 minutes before we have to go on, hits me in the arm, and we all just like stop because I went,
because she shrieked.
Well, no, before I shrieked, we all went silent because we all saw it.
Except me, because my eyes were closed.
Because our eyes were closed.
And then I shrieked.
I screamed.
I'm like, oh my God.
Everyone backstage could hear me, like, all of the dance teachers came running in, like, oh my God, and I was crying my eyes out. And yeah, so I still have a scar from that, actually. And one time Bailey, not the same show, but it was the same show, but a different day. Bailey grabbed a hot curling iron with her hand. Like, she just grabbed it. Like, not even thinking. I grabbed
the wrong end of it. I thought that end was the handle.
It was really funny. And then, and one time, one of our friends, right before, this was the same show. This show was, like, insane.
No, that was the same. That was, like, the first show.
It was the first show. It was The Little Mermaid.
And
we had these, like, sea urchin things, and they had these, like, sharp things coming out of them. And I was goofing around backstage, and she, like, fell on it, and, like, her hand started bleeding, and that was like 30 seconds before we had to go on stage. So she goes out, and she's bleeding all over the stage, and it's just dripping down her arm onto the stage.
And she was right next to my dance teacher. And she's
during the blackout with a like wet rag and go on the floor, and like you could just see this like dark figure like scrubbing the floor in the blackout.
Do you remember by the next show she had pulled out like someone had pulled out
all the sharp stuff because it was so funny.
Are you currently working on any performances?
Yes, we are working on our Sparkle performance, which is going to be so much fun. We're dancing to Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. Do not come. We are going to embarrass the crap out of ourselves, but it's going to be fine. And then...
But it's fun.
It's fun.
Just, like, don't.
And then we're working on Next Door Ballet, which is Alice in Wonderland, and me and Bailey are part of the carousel, and the Red Ladies in Waiting.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. So far, we have, like, 4 dances?
4 dances, yeah. But we have lots of time.
We have lots of time, so that means there's gonna be more. Yeah.
What are you most excited about for each of those?
Sparkle's just always fun. Like, even if we embarrass ourselves and we're freezing our butts off out there.
Last year when it was raining.
And last year it was raining, and we had our and our shoes were all muddy and everything. It's still so much fun. And then, like, we have, like, a party after, and everyone comes over to someone's house. This year, it's gonna be my house again.
Yay!
And then we get dinner, and, like, we walk around Market Street for a little bit, and then we go and have the party, and it's so much fun. I am probably most excited about dress rehearsals.
Yeah.
Because no one gets it. Like, I complain about being there for, like, 6 hours. I complain about that. But it's, like, so fun. Especially, like, the pizza party after, like, that one full day rehearsal. And then we run the whole entire show again. And it's just, like, really, like, I've been doing it since I was 8. So it's, like, something that I love. And I've gotten so used to. And it's just become, like, a part of my yearly routine.
Do you have any advice for someone thinking about joining dance?
Yeah, don't get frustrated if you're not at the same level as everyone else. Because I joined, like, I don't even know, like a modern class one time, and I hadn't taken modern before, like I'd never taken modern, and I just wanted to quit because everyone knew what they were doing, and I of course, it's very similar to ballet, but it's also very different in a lot of ways, and it just was kind of frustrating.
Thank you so much for talking with us, Amaia. It was so great to have you.
It was great to be here. Thank you, Bailey.
Today, I talked a lot about myself and how dance plays an important role in my life. I also had my good friend Amaia come on and talk about her experiences with dance. Thank you so much for listening to this first episode of the Dance Podcast.